big thing that's actually happening, and it's a bigger story at hand because TikTok might be gone next month, and it's caused a lot of drama, I would say, in the business. And there is like drama right now with Barry Kogan right now with his breakup, but it's more than that. Can we talk about TikTok and what's going on, Barry? So all the time, TikTok, I think it's become, it's a great thing for people to connect on social media, of course. But I think it's caused a lot of issues. I mean, X has too, and of course, Instagram. But TikTok, there's been a lot of drama. There's been a lot of people going off each other. It becomes, again, a lot of celebrities coming from there too in their own right. But Barry Kogan actually recently deactivated his Instagram, going off his X, going off his TikTok, because he said that he's been having all these people come after him. And this has been a thing that happens to celebrities sometimes too, where, the fans become toxic against celebrities because of, internal struggle they're going through. And with him, it was his breakup with Sabrina Carpenter. And when they broke up, all of a sudden, people are coming to his house, around his family, freaking him out, freaking everybody else. He says disgusting commentary against him that's been happening. He says he has to respond to this because it's because of their breakup. It's because of her, and her fans are going after him.
Brian, let's get the facts straight here. She went on social media and badmouthed him big time and put his address out so her fans could go out and...
I didn't know she doxed him, really?
Yeah, oh man, it was big all over the news. I mean, she almost got arrested for it.
Who fucking cheats on Sabrina Carpenter?
He said he didn't cheat on her, but people are saying online that he did, and that on top of that, he's still denying it. There apparently was, they said that people thought they saw him at Boa here in Hollywood, the big steakhouse with another celebrity, but she was actually coming forward and said that, no, that I wasn't with him. I've never met him before. I've only seen him in Saltburn when I watched that movie, and that was Becky Hill, who's like a big online celebrity too, and she was saying, no, I don't know him at all. Here he is, and she's like, no, I have nothing to do with this. He's saying it's a lie. He's saying it's toxic fan base. They're there's all distraction. They're going after his family, and he's received all these bad messages that are hateful, absolute lies, disgusting commentary. But Sabrina Carpenter says no too. Now, if you're cheating on someone like Sabrina Carpenter, I can't imagine that, because she is one of the biggest celebrities now for how, for her stature. She's really been killing it. Really, she's had that Christmas special came out too, which is the weirdest thing. I tried to watch it this weekend. I couldn't get into it. I don't know what she was doing. Good for her. She tried something. Good for her. But I think this is a big thing because this is the toxic stuff that happens on TikTok, on Instagram, and everything, where people have to their stuff is out there too much, and it can destroy their careers and cause problems with their family and their safety. Happened to Taylor Swift, which was a big thing too, and she had to fight back. She's got people always protecting her. Multiple stalkers have come after her, and it's a big problem. Now, TikTok might be gone, but social media will never be gone. TikTok might not be gone. January 19th, if they don't sell it, we're going to find out what happens. It could affect TV, movies. There's a lot of different live streaming things that are big on TikTok, selling products, and also, again, a big fan base. So it's interesting to see what happens with that. But there's been people that have made here. People have been made and broken because of this. Is this a bad thing or a good thing? That's the question. And do we believe that we should be using this, whether they are or not, GR? Maybe she's using it or she's not using that. Is that the right place to blow out your dirty laundry, or is it the right place? And is it gone? Will that change anything? That's the question. What do you think, Angela? Do you think it's going to change anything if TikTok goes away? And do you think this is the right spot that these two should be talking about these things on social media?
Regarding, this guy and Carpenter?
Yeah.
I mean, the company isn't, the fact that it's a China-based, organization, you're kind of already...
They're not based in China. They're Singapore.
Well, right, but there's okay. Well, the correction there, but yeah, in terms of I don't know if it's going to go away. I don't know if they're going to be. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't.
I am so sorry. Isn't Singapore in China?
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Well,
they're not part of each other. They're not part of the CCP.
It's like Hong Kong.
That's not even
Hong Kong was.
But that's not even the biggest. That's not even the biggest part of this, though. Let's just be honest, guys. Let's not get an argument about this. It's not even about that.
It's not anywhere
It's
here.
about the platform. It's about the platform. Really, it's about the platform, right? So the platform has been a thing that people have been fighting about. As we're talking about now, people fight about this platform. And I think that it just causes more drama sometimes than good. I mean, there is a great connection that happens, but I feel like we get more and more of these problems like this, you know?
So where's the solution? Where is the solution? And who is providing that solution? It's not my turn. I'm going to stop, but that would be my question if I had a turn coming up.
Yeah, we'll come up to you. Angela, continue. Sorry about that. Continue. What do you think? Do you think that this is going to be anything that can be stopped by an easy shutdown of something? Or do you think that this is a bigger problem that's going to keep growing within the celebrity community?
No, I mean, well, in terms of like where this is, what's going to happen with it being potentially banned, and like, I mean, I don't, there's been so much stuff that's been brought out on this. I had like a 52-page document having to go through all this stuff because everyone's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Like, it's like if TikTok's gone. I mean, yeah, like, again, what Lexi is saying, I mean, it's not a company owned here, it's overseas. But, and, you know, with that being said, there's a lot of different intricacies related and complexities to that. I mean, so they can do a lot of whatever they want, essentially. So, I mean, what issues that'll cause for celebrities, I mean, your platforms, if you're based on that, and that's like, if you didn't like streamline yourself in other places, you know, which, I mean, celebrities they can, you know, they don't have to, like, TikTok isn't going to make or break them unless that's like where their claim to fame is from. But I mean, they probably, if they're working with agencies or have other things going on, they're going to have other, you know, they're going to have other ways to connect with their fans anyway. So if this disappeared, let's just say, I think that they'll all survive and be okay and be fine. It'd be more like the people I'd be concerned about are the ones that like, that's where they make their bread and butter only. Like, so there's certain, like, people I work with, whoever, clients that just focus on one specific social media platform, and then they grow from there. And then you move on to like maybe Instagram, LinkedIn, and different, just depending on what they're trying to do. So that would be an issue to like worry about. But celebrities, I don't really think, I don't know. I don't think it's going to
really affect them.
I mean, it'll affect some of them if that's where they're, to some degree, but I don't think they're
sponsorships, you know, happen on there too.
It'll roll over into something else. I mean, there's always going to be something different, you know. I mean, they'll be able to have like they'll be able to transfer their like fan base will follow them everywhere they go. So it's not like they're going to have a huge, you know, like I said, I'm worried more about people who actually that's where their predominant like source of, you know, income is from, being on that platform. They need to be able to, you know, have a platform where they can bring their, you know, like this, for instance, like we're on, have people come over to that and know where they're, and follow them. And if they have, you know, if they're already subscribing and they know who they are, they're going to follow them wherever they go. So I'm not like, I don't find that concerning. And I think it'll help with like certain privacy issues, other things that we probably didn't think about. We, meaning the government, other things didn't think too much about before they started just throwing everybody on these platforms and putting it out here for us to go on. And, you know, now there's a lot of information out there that doesn't need to be, and there's a lot of stuff. So, I mean, I think we'll be able to survive if there's a different.
And celebrities are going to keep putting their drama out there regardless, right? I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you're going to find a way, you know. I just think it's not right to be blasting somebody online like this, you know, but that's kind of what people do now. You know, that's kind of the business, you know.
Well, I think
and people love to start the trash talk.
Get people on your side, you know, get your team, get your squad, you know, like behind you. And, you know, if you're pissed off about something or somebody, it's a good way to, you know, air out your feelings.
Yeah, it's funny how they keep denying, like, that's what happens. Like, someone will deny it, people are like, no, but I saw them together. And then it's like, you know, it just becomes this whole big narrative that's driven by social media sometimes, I think. And it's wild.
Yeah,
you know, and regardless of like the platform of TikTok being gone or whatever's happening with it overseas or what can be used for, I think that it just becomes a platform that's being used to cause some hate sometimes. Happens on all social media, though. Happens on all, you know, it just happens everywhere. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it'll just keep happening, and it always finds a place for it now. Now we've entered that door, we've opened up that box, we're there. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just sad. It's like, I feel like these celebrities like that, you're like, as Barry was like, oh, this should stop. It's like, you can't stop it. You just can't stop it. Even though you want to, you can't stop it. Lexi,
Never put someone's address on any of those platforms at all.
Don't do that.
Illegal. Yeah,
that's a whole thing that people do.
Doxing is so bad. Doxing is such a problem. But I mean,
Lexi, we've talked about that too with the Sniper Wolf thing too. The Sniper Wolf thing. People have been doing this on.
Somebody just
it's crazy
got recently. That was like a YouTube person that I was watching. That was a whole thing. So.
Can you believe that though? I mean, can you believe that? Can you believe that? Like, of course, like this whole thing's blowing up. We've seen this before. You were actually talking to me about some stuff too. Send me some articles about other people that were like saying that celebrityism is being hated on these days. Is this people attacking celebrityism pretty much in general, or is this just a thing that is, again, the social media machine we can't stop, or is it people just abusing that?
Well, I think like with celebrity, the celebrity has always been like this. It doesn't matter if there was a social media platform or not. People have always stood behind celebrities that they love and care about. So this is nothing new. And attacking is also nothing new. It's just that it's easier with the internet. Everything becomes easier with these platforms and the social media, and everything's instantaneous. Whereas before you would have had to write somebody a letter or follow them out somewhere and attack them or stuff like that. I mean, this has been going on since celebrities existed. But in regards to like TikTok specifically, banning TikTok it's a political move. And I know we don't talk about politics on this show, but if you watched the trial where they were just blatantly attacking the guy and incorrectly mislabeling him as Chinese instead of being from Singapore, and the man had to keep saying, I'm from Singapore, I'm not Chinese, please stop doing that to me. I mean, it's interesting how we're in this place right now where we're in a red scare with China, and we're not thinking clearly as a country, like as a political system. Because like, I understand there's a lot of issues with China. Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend China. China's a mess in its own way, and it has its own problems. And the manufacturing stuff is out of hand. But TikTok is not the problem. And to go after TikTok,
it's the people.
Platform, it's not even like that. Like
people being mad, hate. It's cyberbullying.
Banning it in this, but you're going to get that anywhere. It doesn't matter. Like, I've been cyberbullied. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you have platforms that people can access. I mean, there's Discord. Everybody attacks everybody on Discord. You know how much shit goes on Discord? Nobody's banning Discord. Discord has more
nobody cares
show up on it than anything else. Like, I mean, there's a lot of problems on there. I mean, it's just a source of communication. It's a communication tool. What people do with the tool, it's the same with what people choose to do with their tools. But the ban is ridiculous in this country, and the backlash they're going to see from it is astronomical, because this is the largest platform in the world. It's not just like here it's big and in a couple of other countries it's big. It's the largest social media platform, and now you're going to cut one whole country off from it because of who knows what, because you can't get along with China, because you can't figure things out.
Also,
preach, sister, preach.
But like, seriously, like, you're not helping anything, and you're not going to help. People are not going to like be happy about this, and there's a whole generation of kids that are going to be affected by this, who are raised by that platform and grew up with that platform. I mean, it's not the same as like when Vine collapsed and Vine moved over to it just wasn't feasible and fell apart.
I love Vine.
This is like an actual legitimate major international platform that the world is using, and now you're going to take one country and completely cut them off of it because you've incorrectly mislabeled them as Chinese and you're fighting with them. It's foolish. I mean, the banning of the TC whatever phones, that's one conversation we can have. If you want to be a dick about the cars, I completely understand like you being mad about China whooping your ass in the electric car field. But like, I mean,
that takes us down a rabbit hole. I'm still talking about the celebrityism about this whole thing, though, too, Lexi, because that's the biggest issue for us here in the show is too. It's like how it affects the celebrity, and that's the conversation. Because it's like I do like worry about it. You hear this kind of stuff, and Barry's worried about his life. And people are talking about banning this because these things are happening too.
Doxing is never okay, and it's never okay when a fan base gets rabid and they go after people, period. Like that's always a problem. That's always been a problem, with right down to Britney Spears and Taylor Swift, and now we have Sabrina Carpenter, and it's the same even with like Chapel Rowan fans. Like if you're on
She
these
got hit too.
platforms, yeah, for sure. But I think the thing that I find interesting is how much Gen Z doesn't like the model that is existing in the world today, the current Hollywood model that has existed for all of our lifetimes that we're all familiar with. And what they're choosing to do, and which I sent the article to Brian, like JoJo Siwa has been their first target, and they're intentionally not engaging with them. And the new movement,
which I have no idea who that is. I haven't looked that person up. I'm like, who is this?
JoJo Siwa,
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that.
Like that's why I don't see her being a problem, because she was like, what? She's like a teeny bopper from Nickelodeon, and she's like big on TikTok.
Like, who cares?
Yeah. Well,
You know,
she had a huge fan base though.
Entertainment.
But she is entertainment. She's a major. She's a musician, and she's a dancer. She was on Dance Moms.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
she may not be a celebrity to the people sitting here, but she is
on
definitely
Dance Moms. Such a celeb.
I mean, that's where the girl who dances in the Sia videos comes from too. Like, it's not a small show. It brought a lot of celebrities out. But JoJo Siwa was one of the largest on YouTube's platform for years. She was a huge celebrity on there. So she's pretty big. But regardless of that, there's a movement to ignore. And the movement with this generation is to ignore celebrities and the Hollywood celebrity system. And I find that fascinating that they're in a place where they're like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of all of this. And we're going to make the movement.
What is the this you're referring to?
All of the way that we currently function, the current celebrity systems, how they function, the way the media portrays them.
Give me an example.
Yeah.
Like...
See, people don't know Angel's like, who is these people? You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people don't even know them though.
I mean,
Angel was referring to us on Cruise Control.
Hey, Angel knows us, man.
It's not my fault none of y'all are current. So
I know, right? Well, that's why Lexi also is here, because she gets a lot of this. I don't even know there's some of these people right here that are blowing up, you know, and it's like that's a big platform. They found their way.
Like, I understand, like, a lot of the people on this show are not familiar with a lot of those people, but you have to understand that the Hollywood way is dead. And that YouTube, I mean, if you look at Mr. Beast, look at Logan Paul, look at the way that they can transition around between things. Look at Jake Paul. Jake Paul just fought friggin' Tyson. He's a YouTube nothing, but, like, he's not anymore. That's the way that we are right now. YouTube is not what Hollywood thinks it is. YouTube is now dominating Hollywood. And Hollywood is the old system.
I'll tell you right now, like my manager in LA, which is where a lot of you guys are, that manager, he still manages celebrity talent, but he also took on a second job, which was like retail, because the industry is changing. And by changing, what I mean, based on what I've learned, is the industry in terms of representation, in terms of film and television, isn't making as much money. So I'm with you in that regard. I really am.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the big stars right now are YouTubers as well. Charlie XCX was a YouTuber when she started. I mean, she has a huge music career right now. She was just on SNL. I mean, like, a lot of these people are like all YouTube people. So it's like, even though you're not familiar with where they came from, not to cut you off, Jonathan, but like, they all started on YouTube. They're all YouTubers in some way or another, and now they're transitioning into the Hollywood system, but they don't play that way either. Like, a lot of them don't use the union stuff, and a lot of them don't engage with
most don't use union stuff.
Yeah,
most of it's just out there. It's Wild West now, Lexi. But like, the thing is, like, even if they're doing that, like, can we fix this at all? You know what I mean? Because people are just saying shut these things down. That's my big conversation with TikTok. People are like, shut it down. People are probably take YouTube eventually, but can we fix it so that people don't feel safe? You know what I mean? I don't think we ever can.
Yes,
I don't think we really can.
Yes,
we can't. You think so, Jonathan? We can actually fix it?
Here's what I think. TikTok, it's a great platform, and by great, just like they talked about Voldemort, right? He did great things. Terrible, but great, right? TikTok.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying, TikTok has achieved remarkable things, and I don't need to be solo on this screen. Like, I want to talk to you people. Bring everybody up here. But my thing is this: TikTok achieved a goal for a certain time. If we're, as Americans, right, if we're going to support the government that we collectively voted for, and this government says no more TikTok, fine. Let's open up a pathway for an entrepreneur to create something that is better than TikTok, that does everything TikTok did and more.
Well, Instagram already has Reels, which is pretty much the same thing.
Okay,
So it wouldn't be that.
Yeah.
Then
would
that's
be-
the answer. I'm not saying what the answer is. I'm saying there is an answer, but what is TikTok at its core? What is it?
Well, TikTok is really just a place for people to like watch people kick each other in the balls and do stuff like that a lot of times. You know what I mean?
Go one level deeper than that. What
It's a rabbit hole.
actually?
Well, it's
Specifically.
it's
It's a social media platform.
It is a platform where anybody
connect.
who has an opinion or a thought or a picture or a statement can put that thing out to the masses and maybe gain some level of success, however they want to consider success, like whatever you consider it to be.
Angel.
Whether it's financial or just attention, whatever it is, you can put your thoughts out there to the masses and know that maybe a lot of the masses will view it. That can be done by an American, and the profits can be made by an American.
Well, that's the idea.
Why does it have
That's
to
the
be
idea
done
for
by an
someone to buy it.
American? Who cares?
Well, their idea is for someone to buy it. That's their idea.
Yeah, but like,
they want somebody to own it here. That's what it
they're
is.
gonna make somebody sell their own thing because they don't like it, and so the way they're going to handle that is go, okay, we'll sell it to us, and then you can like let it be in this country.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Make somebody sell something. When
That's
did
what TikTok is. If TikTok doesn't sell by January 19th, doesn't sell, then it's gone. They're going to take it, wipe it from every phone in the United States. You know, if somebody doesn't sell it to an American company.
Countersued. Instead of taking the deal, they countersued. They were like, fuck you. That's actually bullshit.
But this is diving down a rabbit hole.
Got denied.
If I knew anything about coding, we've
gone to a rabbit hole.
Sorry.
We've gone to a rabbit hole fast. We've gone to a rabbit hole. All I'm saying is this: let's line it back up. Let's square root this sumbitch. So like the thing is like we're worried about like how it affects people. That's what I'm saying. And like you have celebrities like this, and I'm not going to deny there are celebrities that come from these platforms. You know, they are their own celebrities and they have a built-in audience on these platforms. Sometimes it expands beyond. I've been in auditions where they say, I mean, literally today, someone asked me how many TikTok followers do you have based off a job I was applying for, because that matters to a lot of these companies. They say TikTok numbers. Literally today it happened to me. Today I got audition? That.
There's a lot of industries that
for a hosting thing.
Social media to be at a certain level.
It was hosting for
ridiculous, honestly, to get a job now. Like that's like the prerequisite. Sometimes I think that's dumb. Like I do.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So Angela, that's what people say
about it is dumb.
Follows you or not? I mean, I'm sorry. It's your talent and your skill. I don't. It's like they're looking to get eyeballs, whatever.
I love it.
Just freaking it annoys me. I can't.
Hold on. Oh my God. I love what you're saying. I'm 100% behind you. Absolutely. So what these companies are saying is you got to have this many followers. You got to be able to prove this. And they only accept you if you can do all the things you just mentioned in regards to talent, right?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't matter how many followers you have on TikTok. It's more about what you can do with the followers of that company, not the followers of your own channel, right?
Yeah, but,
which is what it should be.
You can't even
like how many followers do you have? So and so, like whoever you're going, like I want to know your followers.
CW.
Follow you. Yes. Me on.
Like, you can't even work in the porn industry anymore without a follower count. Like if you don't have a certain follower count, you can't even make porn. Like I know I'm like it's a veer, but like it goes back to the same
no money
thing.
shots for you.
it's an industry that you used to be able to go into without having to worry about anything, and now you have to have at least this level. You have to start your own career before you go and have a career. So once you have your own established social media career, whether it's porn, Hollywood, musician, whatever it is, you have to have an established 2,000 plus follower count on several platforms across the board to show that you're worth investing in now, as opposed to back in the day where it was your talent and it was those things, but they had to see how you did in a movie before.
Can you ride a horse?
Right.
Can you tap dance?
Now you have to ride
These were the questions before.
You have to learn to do it yourself now, and you have to have your own, none of these people. I think the thing that makes it really difficult that I look at a lot is how many of these kids, the YouTubers, the TikTokers, all of it, they don't have agents. They don't have a crew of people helping them.
They're not union.
It's really easy to watch them fall almost instantaneously because no one's telling them what to say and what not to say. And then they'll go out there and they'll say something really ignorant or really stupid, and it'll just destroy them in minutes because no one is there to put filters on these people. And I've watched YouTuber after YouTuber be toppled by those things. And I just think if there was somebody being an agent for these people or saying, hey, let's not
Jonathan?
use this kind of thing, they have to be established.
Made the 50K already. Already been there. Already do it. Sorry, go ahead, Angela.
Oh, no, I was just saying to Lexi that you're right, because I've been having conversations with influencers and people that just don't think they need to have certain types of, brand recognition.
Why would you think you need it if you're already established? If you've established yourself and you're there, then why do you think you need to pay a guy to help you? But you do need to pay a guy to help you.
Right. Yeah, you do. You do need to. Yeah, you do.
You have to.
Angela knows too. Somebody help you.
Yeah. Anytime you're getting traction or getting growing in that your industry, you do need to have that because
absolutely
it's way more important. Yeah, 100%.
That's what Angela's doing too. She's helping people like that too. Market yourself, right? Put yourself out there. Get those sponsorships. You need that.
I'm 100% in agreement with you as far as I understand it, Angela.
Yeah.
I think that you're right. There are things that can be questionable, things that shouldn't happen or should happen. I'm with you. But here's where I kind of have my own opinions on this. If you're an independent, let's call it social media influencer or journalist or star, whatever you want to call it, that is your brand. That is your opinion. And the whole reason that we have independent anything is that so big corporate dollars don't influence those opinions and those perspectives, right? What's happening with social media is it's become somewhat mainstream, like TikTok, so that corporate dollars, right, they bleed into the independent media or influencers, whatever you want to call it, and now corporate companies and perspectives bleed into the independent perspectives. I think what you were saying, or at least to piggyback onto what you were saying, is when you create something yourself, it is yours. And it doesn't matter if there's $1 billion company behind you or a dry cleaner that makes $150K a year behind you. You're going to say your opinion, no matter what your opinion is. That shouldn't have anything to do with what or who your sponsor is or somebody who's paying you to say those things. I may be encapsulating that in a terrible way, but I feel like that's where we are. Social media is not a pariah. It's not a problem. It's something that corporate entities haven't completely figured out how to deal with yet. And that's a good thing. And the reason I say it's a good thing is there are people who are just like you, me, and everybody else watching this live stream. There are some people just like us who have made millions of dollars, and their grandchildren won't have to work a 9 to 5 because they, for whatever reason or whatever luck, they figured something out that made it work in terms of social media. And I think that what is social media? It's the masses.
It's cool, my
everybody. Social media means everybody has an opportunity.
They make established musicians release their music on TikTok, like as soon as they're dropping an album. And there are many musicians who have been around for years who didn't need the platforms, and they're like, why do I need to release my song on TikTok? And they're like, well, you got to put it out on TikTok. So like they make them release.
It's every platform. Every platform.
Whoever is running them, their agents, their producers,
every platform.
The company, Universal Music, like whoever is the one who owns them are saying, okay, we have to put your track out on TikTok because TikTok is how music gets known. Most people like nowadays get their music from TikTok. They learn about new music from TikTok and all that kind of stuff.
I still think Spotify and Apple are still the main spot.
But people don't listen to.
So before we,
they just get little,
you're going way off
stuff. I get you.
Sorry, was that my fault? Did I?
But
did I derail things again?
GR, is Barry Kogan going to be okay, man? What do you think?
Eventually, yeah. This will blow over. This. We're not here to talk to Paul. There's a lot more involved in this than is anything to do with entertainment. So let's move on.
Yeah, I think that this is just, again, bad press happens on these social media things. Sometimes it's just the nature of the beast, right? You know, these things will happen. These things will go down. But we got to keep fighting forward and making it better.
People would lose their mind if they got rid of TikTok.
And hope that eventually we get past. Well, we're going to find out very soon.
Yeah. I mean, just piggybacking back to what Jonathan was saying to me is that, unfortunately, the companies are starting to own what you say. So, like, if you are going to be signing with any large corporations, they do have very, very, very knowledgeable teams intact in terms of their comms teams now, their social media teams. I mean, they're hiring the best to be on their because they can't afford to screw up in terms of like bringing talent in. That's kind of where the agents come in and start working with who's best suited for that brand to work with them. But you start becoming, your own individuality. Sure, that's there to some extent, but you're being paid to be like, this is what we also kind of need you to be talking about. And if you're not going to talk about this, and the contracts get really, really like very specific, and they get really ridiculous, to be honest.
As somebody who works for an LA agency, worked. I recently, I haven't been officially fired, but I kind of told them what they could do with their opinion, and the way I voiced it, I'm waiting for the email. But here's the way I think it works honestly
Send them
right
one,
now.
Jonathan.
What's that, Gio?
Yeah.
Send them one. You're fired.
Well, probably.
If you got hair on your balls, shave it.
Wow.
All right, Pepe.
Pepe, totally appropriate in the moment. It fit exactly into the conversation. Please continue contributing. In the
We
exact
are
perfect
live
moment.
on Cruise Control.
Hell yeah, we are, bitches. Hell yeah. So my thing is this. I think at some point there became a point of confusion between, in terms of agencies, and like CAA and all these big agencies have been laying off agents, right? I think there's become some confusion as to who is the client and who is the talent.
Yeah, that sometimes happens for sure. Yeah.
Well, let me clarify that for everybody. Okay? The client
GR Waters.
The client is not the advertiser or producer. That is the customer. They're confusing the term client and customer. Customer is who is spending the money. Client is who you are making that money with. Look at it in a different industry. Let's look at law, which is my other focus, right? If I
We're
have
going way
somebody
over, Jonathan, so we got to wrap this up soon. I hate to be like that, but give me 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
I'll take 10. If I'm an attorney, an entertainment attorney, and I'm representing Brian from Cruise Control, then Brian is my client, and we are going to make money together. He's my client. My customer might not be Brian, but he's certainly not.
Jonathan, you're over your 10 seconds.
All right, then I'm done.
He's not what? Give me that last thought.
Nope, I finished.
He's not Jonathan.
The client is not the customer, is my point. The customer is who's buying. The client is who you're representing. That's
which is what it should always be, and it should always be. And I want to say, because I know this conversation went off the rails a little bit, because there's a lot happening in the TikTok world. I loved it. But I'll say this at the end of the day: it's like TikTok, Instagram, all the social media platforms. It can easily become a platform people get hurt and people can abuse to affect everybody else, hurt people and love people. End of the day, I think we just have to be great people and care. And I hope that whatever happened between Sabrina and Barry and anybody else that has a relationship gets broken online, I hope that we get better and don't do this publicly. But it's not going to stop until we want it to stop, and we push for it to stop, and we care a little bit more in this society. And sometimes we just want to fucking hurt people, and that's what happens. So when the truth is, whatever you're right. It's just what it is. And you know what? And whatever happens beyond that, we leave it up to the masses.
100% correct. That's 100% yes.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.